Today I'm going to finish up the signal box, do a little light weathering, and put it on the layout where it will eventually go. I want to show you a trick. I have one of these. It reads in hundredths, doesn't go to thousandths of inches, but I'm sure they have them in millimeters or whatever. I have this set for the scale I'm working in to 1 foot, or approximately 1 foot, not precisely 1 foot. It doesn't need to be that precise. I'm making some planks. The trick is the points on these are very, very hard. If you set the width you want to cut, you can then drag it along the edge as long as you have a straight edge, and you can score a perfectly straight line or parallel with the edge, and then when you put your knife in there, you can drag it right down that score. This allows you to cut very precise widths quite easily. And there you have it. The only thing you have to clean up is there's a little right where you made your score. It tends to plow up some material, and if it's a problem, it's easy enough to take a piece of sandpaper and run it down and get it off. Then you have a perfectly clean strip, precise width to do with whatever you want. I find these invaluable. I have no idea where I bought it. I've forgotten, I've had it so long. But it's meant for a carpentry, so it doesn't go to thousandths. Well, you don't really need thousandths. Each of these little marks on the green dial are 10 thousandths. So as you can see, it's not that precise, but it's certainly precise enough for woodwork and for most modeling applications. And I did not invent this. I learned it from someone else. If you liked the video, how about giving me a thumbs up? And if you're not subscribed, how about subscribing? To ensure that I get a shadow line between these roof tiles, I'm going to go ahead and paint black between them to make sure it gets down in. My experience in the past is that if I don't do this, there is the possibility of having white plastic showing through in the gaps between the roof tiles. And although this is not 100% assurance that that won't happen, it's pretty good. Probably seems tedious to you, but I went to the trouble to make all these tiles and glue them on, so I might as well do what I can to make them look as good as possible. I thought about using other means of putting the roof tiles on, things like plastic card with embossed roof tiles. I thought about it, but I also looked at and bought a couple of different examples of paper and plastic roofing products for models. But in the end, I was convinced that actually roofing it with tiles, little pieces of plastic, little squares of plastic, rectangles of plastic, would look the best in the end. So that is why I went to this much trouble. I'm not interested in getting it done quickly. That's not the goal. The goal is not speed. The goal is something that I'm happy with and that I've done my absolute best to create the best possible model that I can. I wouldn't say it's done yet. A number of things to do. Just thought I'd let you have a look at it. I decided I really liked the catwalk concept. I suppose to get out there and clean windows and repair things. Thought about putting some on this side too, but decided I would just have them in front. I've seen them mostly with the catwalk in the front, sometimes down by the stairs, but in this case that wouldn't be appropriate. It would interfere with I could have a short one over here, I guess, but I think it would interfere with the steps. I think we'll go look at some pictures of slate roofs and see what needs to be done. I know I want a little moss growing on there, a little lichen, and some staining, but before I get to that, I'd like to do a little board. And up here on the chimney cap needs to be, that's probably going to be slate or maybe a piece of sandstone. So that needs to get painted. But yeah, well, it's looking pretty decent. You'd almost think it was a kit. Ha ha ha. Well, the windows and the door, those are Tichy train group. They're actually HO. I couldn't get what I wanted in 00 rapidly, so HO's pretty close enough, I think. These windows probably would have come down further if they were in HO or in 00. I'd say this one's a little darker. It's a little bit more growth up there than I've got on mine. This one's pretty clean, but I think the color is about the same. This one is a little browner than I've got mine. But it's in the same family. We're almost done. We're getting there. Hope to be done by the end of the day and post this video when I'm done. I took some olive green mixed with some black, then mixed that with some water to make it into more of a wash, and dabbed it around in a few places. And I think painting the dark in the gaps has really worked out very well. It highlights, it makes those gaps pop. The next challenge for the signal box will be to build the interior. I have a kit from Severin, and it is etched brass, and I'm going to endeavor. It looks pretty daunting, honestly, but I'm going to endeavor to try to build that kit and put an interior in this thing. Very rewarding experience building the signal box. I've enjoyed every step. I wonder what I'll build next.